how much the spread of mobility has helped social media. Dr. Dalloul, Jawad just mentioned the issue of investment in capacity and networks. And the question here is that who helps whom? Because there was a time when telecom operators spent so much money on building the networks, and then people like Facebook and Twitter came and reaped the benefits, and the telecom operators were watching. So today, who is helping us? STC International. Who benefits from whom, or who drives whom these days?
Well, let me address the first question: is who drives whom? I believe that the origin of the mobile network was purely to address voice need of users. Now, when this was addressed in a decent way, the trend of life of users changed. They became more mobile, nomadic, and then they became there was a need for a bit more than voice. Thus, we introduced GPRS. So operators put in this technology, and then they found out that it's really not addressing the exact need of users. So we went to Edge. Edge was halfway decent. We went to 3G. All of a sudden, when 3G came along, Facebook, Twitter, and others saw this golden opportunity to go and put their apps on smartphones. And as a result, users became much more mobile. And they are the ones who are dictating the trend of technology and where it's headed. I think an interesting statistic would be, out of those 40 or 50% of smartphone users, how much are they really using how much of those are using the bandwidth? And you see that a lot, small number, but using a lot of the bandwidth. So it's the trend of life, it's the users who is dictating the technology, and not the other way around.
Question: how will operators make money out of that?
It's a $1 million question. Right now, we are all betting that somehow it's some magic formula will just fall down from the sky and we'll all be happy. Whether it is Facebook, Twitter, or the operators, we have no idea how we're going to make money. Operators have not adjusted to the changes in the user and their need. We are creating a monster that is eating up the revenue of the operators, whether it is from Viber, WhatsApp, or what have you. We have to change the way we build the customer, and Facebook have to find, and Twitter have to find a way to make money on their own.
Well, we get back to how Twitter and Facebook themselves make money, but I'd like to go back to the consumer behavior with Mr. David. You know what, I always think about that the status update, for example, in Facebook, how much do we update the status because this is really what we're doing, or this is what we like our friends to know we are doing? So basically it helps our behavior at the end of the day. And how much of for example, if we didn't have the like feature, the statistical metrics, if we didn't have the like feature and the friend count, for example, people are happy the more they have friends on Facebook. So how much do those metrics dictate the behavior of the consumer, and how does it dictate his behavior in terms of the companies, in terms of making decisions, what to buy, how to behave?
Not an easy question. But first of all, I think it's really fun to use Facebook, and it's okay to say hello, good morning. Yeah, but maybe it's not a very strategic way to do.
Do you think that social media is affecting the decision made by the consumer? Like the decision to buy a certain product, yes, or the decision to buy a certain service?
Yes. If a person I like and I trust recommends a certain product, I think it's quite likely that I will like the product or service as well, and it's much more trustful than just advertisement. The companies pay for.
If a product or a program or something has so many likes, do you think that it affects the consumer's behavior towards liking as well and going and buying that product?
Yes, it will certainly.
Are there any trends that you are witnessing from monitoring the behavior on social media? What are the major trends that you are witnessing?
I can tell you from my own experience that I'm often in a position where I trust my fellow friends, so-called friends on Facebook, and I buy what they recommend. Yeah, so some gadgets I own, I bought because my friends like them as well.
You mentioned the point about people like having more friends on Facebook. That's not necessarily the case. Some research has shown that the more friends you have on Facebook, the more it adds to actually some bad feelings and not very good wellness in terms psychologically. That's one point. And another point that we need to address is how people use Facebook. For example, personally, I have 350 friends on Facebook, and they're declining. Because I eventually reached a stage where I said, if I can't have the person whom I am a friend with on Facebook be a dinner guest at my home, then he shouldn't be a friend on Facebook. I should be connected with him on LinkedIn, and we could follow each other on Twitter. But Facebook, for many people, is starting being used as this is my personal family album, and it's just amongst close friends and family that should have Facebook. But in the meantime, I could use it to interact with groups or pages and share information and so on. So that dynamic, I think, is happening. Parents are a lot more now aware of, if my kids are on Facebook, I need to also be able to guide them on how to use it, because it really is, once it's on the internet, once it's on the cloud, that's it. It cannot be removed.
But does this make Facebook less effective?
David was trying to say, and just an anecdote, this story. A friend of mine was recommending a camera. He said, I just got it on Amazon. I said, what are the features? His immediate answer was, it got 5 stars. So, yes, people do tend to trust others on social media.
With some evidence. There's a global study that was performed in the US, UK, Asia, and the Middle East, which is very rare when you have global studies to actually focus on the Middle East, usually don't. But this time they did, and the behavior was consistent across the world. That, and I mentioned this earlier today, more than 50% of people take advice, not just on campus, but on important issues in life, like which medicine should I take and which diet should I follow. More than 50% of social network users and network users take advice from people they have never met in real life before, and they know little about. They've met online. Now, this is interesting, but it could be extremely dangerous. However, this trend is starting to diminish a little bit, because people are, as Jawad is realizing that the real life connections and trusted sources of information and friends are stronger, much stronger than the widest network. I will refer also back to some discussions that will take place today. Basically, just think about it. If there is a call for action, let us gather here or in this place at that hour, okay, on the internet. The chances are that people would not actually follow what was tweeted or put on Facebook to take the action. But if a friend calls you or talks to you or sends you an email and says, I am going, would you like to join me, or I would like you to join me? It is the chances of you actually joining this action are much, much higher. And in the world of marketing, in the world of business communications and of consumerism, the word of mouth and peer pressure are extremely important. And the close friends and friendships that are formed by human networks are much stronger than the mass of friendship that is formed on social media. However, the communication power that social media brings to spread the word and create a trend or a thought, not a call for action, is extremely powerful and continues to be powerful as long as the message is persistent and consistent.
Dr. Dadul, I'd like to go back to you and broaden the discussion a little bit. When we say, like no one was expecting Twitter, because when everyone was on Facebook, no one was expecting Twitter, and Twitter suddenly made a revolution. So when you think of the future, what is the next wave of innovation? Where will it be? More Twitters and Facebooks, or will it be in which area? In the operator side? Where will the next wave of innovation come from?
I believe what earlier today, I think that Ali Cross gave a prediction of 12 years. I'm going to go out on a limb today, right now, and give a prediction less than 5 years. I think the next big revolution that's going to take place is in the TV and broadcasting. It will, whatever happened in the music industry will take place in the TV industry. And this is, again, driven by the need of users. And as such, technology will have to adapt and adjust. I just don't see cable providing 2,000 channels. I just want to see my program when I want to see it. And more important, if there's a news, I would like to see perhaps, maybe, different views, or if you mention something, I'd like to look it up. When this comes into the picture, and this huge merger of voice, video, data, and so on and so forth, there would be a need for a different type of technology, perhaps 5G. 4G is not going to be enough. And this is why today what we are seeing is this introduction of tablets. It is just in anticipation of this big revolution that will take place. So I think you guys ought to look at this new trend of TV broadcasting and how the news will be presented, how the programming will be presented will be totally different than what we are used to today.
iTunes, you're saying that someone might monopolize that by creating a breakthrough technology whereby they can, as you said, what happened to the music industry is that the record producers they didn't control it anymore. Apple controlled it.
Not quite. I mean, it's going to happen exactly like books. You can buy your books from Amazon, you can go and buy your books from iBooks, or you can go from others. Content is a key. But how to be presented and how to deliver it is the new trend in the technology. So, a la iTunes or others, I heard about ecosystem. Ecosystem is bringing all of those together into one. That's the beauty of Apple, and this is what Android is trying to get. Getting all of them into one package. Taking your tablet and be able to watch your program or go and watch the news, tweet, Facebook, send a message.
This takes us to what we were mentioning a little bit earlier, which is the contribution that mobility did, or mobile phones, smartphones, tablets, in transforming social media, making it more widespread. David, I don't know if you have a comment in that sense. How much do you think? Statistics show that people use social media through mobile devices more than through computers and laptops. So how much do you think that this contributed, and going forward, do you think that this will be the way things will go? If you can get the microphone closer to you.
No, it's working. I think it will contribute, or it will add a new dimension if more people are using social media from their mobile. Let's say, for example, location-based services. Yeah, we can meet if we are nearby easily. It can add to how companies communicate to customers, because they know if they are in a certain area and can really come to my restaurant and so on. And maybe it will solve kind of our traffic problems, like we have here in Beirut. So we can join to go on a ride together if we know, okay, I'm going this way and now I'm here, and you give me some kind of information, but we would share the same way to the airport, and why not take the same like you have here, shared taxi system. But I think it could be made more intelligent by using smartphones with location-based services.
If we're honest with ourselves and if we monitor how we handle our lives socially, sometimes it's really anti-social media, because we'll be with friends and family over dinner, and then each one will be checking his Twitter account or Facebook account, and not socializing with the close circle of his family and friends. So and I've seen groups of people that actually decide that with their meet for dinner, they just put their smartphones on the side so that we're here to...
I think this should become a new social concept. Like you come into someone's house and put the mobile phone aside.
Exactly. But it ties back to the fact that yes, mobility now is the largest percentage of use of social media is through the mobile devices.
Hassan, comment with Andy, another question.
I will just quickly comment on this one, show you my example. This year, more people are accessing the internet over a mobile phone or some kind of a mobile device than a computer. I just want to ask for a quick show of hands, and honestly, quick show of hands, don't be reluctant. How many of you in the room right now are actively using a mobile device today, as we speak, at this moment in time?
They are on Twitter, I think.
There you go. And that is the result of you're using both hands, actually, so at least one to be free. So effectively, without mobility, none of this would actually be possible. We would not be communicating with that kind of impact and immediacy. And that's why usually, and I forgot to do this today, I ask those who are tweeting from the room to just wait for me to finish the sentence before they start tweeting, because then they tweet something I might not want to say.